In 2012, Bill McKibben wrote an article entitled "Do the Math to Simplify the Then Current Situation with Regard to Fossil Fuels on Planet Earth." He explained that if 2 degrees centigrade is the maximum we can increase global temperature and maintain a livable planet, we can only put 565 more gigatons of CO2 into the atmosphere. At that time, we had almost 2,800 gigatons of carbon in proven reserves, meaning we were planning to burn 5 times the amount that would allow us to maintain a planet which would support life for humans. Fast forward to 2016, Bill's updated article, Recalculating the Climate Math, after a study by Oil Change International in partnership with 14 organizations from around the world, recommended 3 things. 1, no new fossil fuel extraction or transportation infrastructure should be built, and governments should grant no new permits for them. 2, some fields and mines, particularly in rich countries, should be closed before fully exploiting resources. Financial support should be provided for non-carbon development in poor countries. 3, this does not mean stopping all fossil fuel usage overnight. Governments and companies should conduct a managed decline of the fossil fuel industry to ensure a just transition for workers and communities. Bill concluded, if we're serious about preventing catastrophic warming, the new study shows we can't dig any new coal mines, drill any new fields, build any more pipelines. Not a single one. We're done expanding the fossil fuel frontier. Meanwhile, we're seeing the effects of increasing CO2 that are far worse than predicted. You may have noticed the increasing ferocity of hurricanes and forest fires, devastating infrastructures, and also killing more and more people. Scientists agree a more reasonable target is 1.5 degrees C to require significantly less fossil fuel usage to maintain a livable atmosphere. The state of Minnesota has been a leader in this nation, more recently with decisions on gay marriage and healthcare. Ideas and opinions change over time, and in the end, time reveals what is best and true. Scientific development leads the way, and science is saying the era of fossil fuels is over. It's time to abandon pipeline efforts in Minnesota and focus on the true future of our nation and our world, conservation and energy alternatives. Fossil fuels are not the future. Every week, another car company vows to build only electric vehicles in the very near future. The majority user of the fossil fuel industry is marching away from it. Minnesotans lead in reducing greenhouse gas emissions by having more E85 refueling stations than any other state. Minnesota is also a leader in wind power, generating over 9% of our electricity with this renewable resource. Let's keep growing our alternative energies, be a leader in abandoning the dying fossil fuel industry, say no to Line 3, no to Enbridge.
Very good, and we'll mark that as P182. Your name is on it. Wonderful. And it's hereby received into your record. Thank you very much. Dan. First and last name.
Dan, D-A-N, Gaither, G-A-I-T-H-E-R. There's been a lot of propaganda in the papers regarding the number of jobs that Line 3 will provide, but we're finding that Enbridge's own numbers contradict what is being promoted by Jobs for Minnesotans, which is a lobbying group consisting of the Minnesota Building and Construction Trades Council and the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce. Their website provides PDFs of the same documents that Enbridge distributes in their propaganda packet, along with direct links to the Enbridge website. In fact, Jobs for Minnesotans is repeatedly quoted an economic impact study at these hearings with questionable data, such as an exaggerated number of jobs. Actually, more than 4 times the jobs that Enbridge claims will be provided over a 2-year period. This study, requested by Apex, a local business booster, and conducted by the University of Minnesota Duluth, Lavowitz School of Business and Economics, says of itself, the study looked only at the economic impact of the project and gave the caveat that this analysis does not consider the social or environmental impacts of the project and should not be viewed as a cost-benefit analysis or environmental impact statement. So it's clear that they cherry-picked the data to give a good economical showing of these projects while ignoring the more important social and environmental aspects. I believe most citizens would agree that clean water and air and fair treatment of all citizens not giving some more protections than others, are far more important than your money.
So my SD card maxed out during Danny's testimony, but here's the end of what he shared during the public hearing. It is interesting to note that Enbridge only claims 1,500 construction jobs will be created, while local papers quote figures like 6,500 or 4,200, half of which will be local jobs. Interestingly, calculations made using Enbridge's own estimates show approximately 8,300 jobs would be generated to remove the old Line 3, 5.5 times the number of construction jobs. If we also consider the 3 additional pipelines that will become obsolete in the near term, we can look at 20 times the number of jobs in removing the old energy transport infrastructure than we get in constructing this new pipeline. Removal is where the need is. Removal is where the jobs are. Removal is what Minnesota deserves.